Wonderful insights, yeah, wonderful insights. I get the gist of how structured and organized your entire strategy has been. Starting from how to revise, how to get into the momentum right before the interview. So these are very valuable. A lot of
I'm telling you, after failing for 2 years, okay. So even trying so many things.
Let's start. So, can you just help me with understanding your background, your academics, and how you started preparing?
So yeah, my background is in electronics and instrumentation. Graduation was from a college in Kolkata, and then I passed out in 2022. Then I worked at Oracle for 2 years. Then again, it was a consulting role. Moreover, so I was a staff consultant there, technical consulting. So that's where I wanted to be in a product role, core engineering role, and that's where I am. So currently, I've got into software engineering role, and it's a core engineering role into ML platforms. Where we will be working into a lot of cool things which we see on the application, the platform which actually hosts all these recommendation system and the way you search something. So we are the team who work behind that. So really feels great when we discuss about the impact of these applications. This much traffic will be there now. The sales season just started. I just joined, and then I saw the kind of efforts which the team puts in to make sure that everything works. You must have seen the fiasco of Book My Show when Coldplay concert was going on and like something failed. So that's how crucial our role is. I am a kind of person who always believe that stability scares me. So I was in a stable job, but again, no risk, no rewards. So that's where I wanted to switch.
Nice, nice. Very interesting. Heartiest congratulations to you from our entire programming Pathshala team. Would really like to understand that, how difficult this entire journey has been for you. Because when we talk about preparation, and especially preparation while you're working, because like you said, you were already working with Oracle. So how long did it take for you to get done with topics? How did you plan it through? Just a little about your ups and downs. How did you try staying consistent? So yes.
Yeah, so it's not just the previous 8 months when I got rejected. It's just like the entire journey goes behind somewhere when I was in my college. So I remember I was in my third, fourth year at the time when we have all our placements and all, right. In my college, we used to have like most of these service-based roles. Like I have my honest respect for all those roles which they used to offer, but somehow it didn't match my expectations, which I always aspired to be. And then a couple of my friends actually took this course at first, and then they suggested me, okay, there is this platform which is offering a DSA kind of preparation. And very frankly, at that time, Hello World program was a very new thing for me when I came to the college. Okay, so even by the end of third year, although academics was sorted, still I was not in a very good position to crack any of these DSA rounds, which like nowadays is getting cut throat. That's where I started with programming Pathshala, and I am very organic with this key. I was an absolute beginner with it. Okay. So, I remember I started solving some problems here and there, and I used to feel terribly low when I didn't have any like background and I am not able to solve that question, right? So at that point of time, programming Pathshala happened to me. Okay. So, and I started, learning from there. I convey my heartiest thanks to Anubhaya and the team for providing me different opportunities. So he was very kind to me for offering me this scholarship, and I could study. And I'm ever thankful to Programming Pathshala, because for a person like me, who without a tier, without a background in computer science, was able to switch to a product-based company like Flipkart, Myntra. So it was definitely a dream come true, and I'm ever thankful to Programming Pathshala. 3-4 months down the line, I studied, and then I got Oracle's offer. I thought, okay, it's gonna be a good offer, because that was a product-based company. So I thought it will be a good offer. Then somehow this preparation stopped for me. Okay, so I just after doing 2-3 months of work, I stopped somehow. So that was a major gap in my preparation journey, I'll say. Then when I entered into my job, I started working. Then I felt okay, I should challenge myself even more. So
Correct.
then again, I talked with Bhaiya, and then I asked, okay, no, I need to start again from scratch. Then I started the preparation again. So it was like kind of a sinusoidal curve. I mean, it didn't go just like
Yes, yes,
this. Yeah.
totally. I'm
So
sure that there might have been a lot of ripples, more
yeah.
than you're saying and expressing right now.
So
I'm
yeah,
quite
because
certain.
one of the thing which happens in DSA is like when you start preparing, and if you are not consistent enough, like 2 3 months you prepared some of the topics, okay, and it's a like long list of
Yeah.
topics which you need to master, when especially when you are appearing for a good product based role, they will ask you in depth concepts. So just knowing the surface level problems doesn't help anymore. Like even nowadays online assessments are getting tougher, interviews are getting tougher, everything is getting tougher. So that was the point when I started to feel okay, now this is not working well, right? I mean, I was feeling very low. I mean, a couple of friends, close friends helped me out from that phase. Ki I used to feel terribly low key. I mean, if this is my level, I am not going to make it up to any of the companies for sure.
Mhm.
So this is again when I got an interview call from Google. So somehow it boosted my confidence. Okay, if I'm getting,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
then definitely there's something there for me. So I talked with Bhaiya at that time also. He suggested ki listeners, no matter you crack Google or not, make sure ki after 2 months of preparation, you can take your time from them, because they allow you to prepare. So take your time, and then brush up your concept again, and like now this time go deeper into like advanced concepts like trees graph and other sort of dynamic programming concepts and other things. So there I started working more on like advanced DSA, and then I solved more problem. And very honestly, I initially solved only the assignment based problems which were there in the dashboard, and it helped me a lot. Although Google's interview also went well, somehow that position was put on hold, or like I mean, they ask you, they might come later. But still, after giving that interview, I felt ki, okay, I can maybe I can do better. Okay, so
give a
that's
real hope.
yeah, definitely.
Still hope.
They say na ki you will get the light at the end of the tunnel when you
Yes, yes,
keep
yes.
on walking in a dark tunnel.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with me, and then I started getting interview calls. I mean, one of the major takeaway from this, like always be available on like LinkedIn. Make sure your
Yeah.
profile is in the top search of recruiters, naukri.com. Because very honestly, I applied at a number of places, didn't get luck about interviews and all. Most of these calls came directly from the recruiter itself. In the last month, I appeared in some 4 or 5 companies, and I cracked 3 of them. So like all of these calls came from the job search portal. So I mean, good takeaway, keep it 100%, like whatever content you can
So
feed.
a great insight for all our viewers that this is something that you have to do, because there are plenty of people who are applying constantly, and if you're not showing up, so even though you're worthy, you might not get a chance.
Correct, correct,
And I'm so glad that how you took that leap of faith and you appeared for the interview.
correct.
I know a lot of people who sometimes get calls, but they get overwhelmed just by the thought of not being able to, crack it,
Yeah,
and get so intimidated that they don't even appear for it. So
correct.
I am really glad that you took this advice and you gave this a good shot.
I mean, if it is there, I mean, make sure you are, I mean, visible to the recruiters. I mean, because nowadays hiring has become very niche. I mean, it's
Correct.
not at like 2022 or 23. I think at around 21 to 22 was a good time. I'll say. So hiring was all time high just after COVID. But yeah, I mean, again, so and then I got rejected from Siemens also. So that was also a good learning. I mean, initially getting into a DSA round itself and then solving the problem on screen. I
Correct.
mean, it was like kind of daunting task for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so then I asked Bhaiya, and then I prepared for some mock interviews also on the platform. So like couple of interviews I gave there, and I got a good hang also after giving those interviews. Got some insights also how if you're stuck in a situation, like, because I mean it's more important for us to know what to do if you are stuck in an absolute zero situation. I mean, if you're not well prepared, because very frankly I got into that situation even in Myntra's interview, because that question was really difficult, and that was like 5 to 10 seconds of time, which like I was about to say okay, I'm done, maybe I don't think I will be able to solve this. But then I started thinking otherwise okay, I mean, this is the case, this is the given situation. I started talking to the interviewer. He also gave me some ways okay, you might think in this direction, and just after building on that, I got to the solution, and that was a good problem. I mean, it was a turning point, I'll say. So this is where I will say I mean, he will always be there to help you. I mean, maybe in a situation you are stuck. So I mean,
Yeah, those 10 seconds made all the difference for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Preparation, mock interviews, these all things, because I see most of the people are doing lead code absolutely fine with it. I mean, it's a must to do thing, I'll say, to practice more and more. But again, this is even more important to get into an interview situation and then talk about the problem, how you build the solution, how you start writing the first line, and then like you discuss the solution. I mean, it should be planned. I mean, I initially I used to feel okay, you will get a question, you'll just type the solution, it's done now. It doesn't happen that way. So one of the interviews which I appeared in for like KPMG, I got two questions. The second question was very new to me. I mean, it was kind of brain teaser for me, and the interviewer just expected me to give the like just the they wanted to check my thought process, how I'm thinking. Then I mean, when I solved that question, it gave me so much of confidence even for another interviews which I appeared.
Correct.
So it's equally important to be prepared for an interview in an interview like situation. I mean,
Yes, totally. Because I think familiarity leads you to perfection, right? The more familiar you are, the more used to you are of facing those kind of situations, the more prepared you get, and you build that sort of resilience that it takes to get through, to just push yourself. So, totally agree. And any tips you would like to give to all our viewers, that just how to hang in there and how to believe in the process, because it can get really overwhelming at times.
definitely.
And the preparation could be very lonely also, because you have to give up so much of your time and your devotion to it. So sometimes you can question yourself and lose the motivation, get lost. So any tips from your end?
Yeah, so I believe the viewers can be in two categories. Either they are in a college or maybe they are working. So these are the two category, or someone who might be like looking for a job, that also might be. So the third category is definitely the most, I mean, daunting experience for anyone. But yeah, I mean, if someone who is already in college, the market is really tough for freshers, I'll say. But again, I mean, now I can see some of the companies are opening their I mean, doors for even freshers. It's not very I mean, open as of now, but still, I mean, it's kind of getting better as compared to previous 1 year. So those who are in college, for them at least, be more disciplined, I'll say, because they are more related to the curriculum. I mean, atmosphere in their college, they have societies, different chapters, so they can find their code buddy. Apart from hanging out with friends, make such friends whom you can sit together and code along. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, definitely you can hang out after having I mean, good internships, good placements. Definitely you'll have a lot of time to hang out. So that is the first category, I'll say. I mean, small targets for yourself, like maybe in a month I'll finish this 100 set of problems. Maybe 2-3 questions a day is very doable for them. I mean, they can, after all their college assignments, they might sit at the night, and then they might try for at least 1 to 2 questions, and they can set this kind of micro targets. They know their placement dates, moreover period is fixed for them, so they can try, okay, this is the month when I need to be ready. So they should be prepared enough topic wise, a proper planning they can make, and then they can go ahead. This is one thing which I'll suggest for college juniors. I mean, this is something which I failed to do. So that's why I'm suggesting others not to repeat the same mistake. Yeah. Coming to those who are already working, again, the same thing goes with them. Office hours are like really hectic for people. I know even those who used to work with me, they are sitting for like maybe till midnight also in project related requirements, and they are not like getting enough time. So for them it is difficult, but I mean for them weekends are the boon. So telling about my personal experience, I used to feel FOMO. Okay, my friends are going out having fun and all, but I will say it is definitely worthwhile. Now I feel it. Okay, I all those weekends which I gave to the preparation is definitely worthy. So weekends are boon for like working professionals like us. So use it very judiciously. Plan it beforehand. Okay, I'll dedicate 5-6 hour. I mean, two days you'll get in a week maybe. Then during weekdays, if you are getting less number of work, I mean, again, micro targets is something which I always suggest, and I personally believe works for me. And for both college juniors and office going professionals, I'll suggest make a Google Docs or something, prepare everything in a written format, because one interview will come, and again the second interview might just be the next day or might be in 2-3 hours, and you might not be going through like you might have solved 500 problems and lead code, and but you will be lost in which one to revise and all. So it's a very good strategy which I followed and helped me out a lot. I have prepared topic wise notes.
Wow.
Then which questions are more difficult, at least to me, I have marked them, and which the questions which actually are apparently not that difficult, and just like I can do it whenever I will get it. So I have just left them, and based on my timeline, whatever time I am getting, if let's say I am having an interview in like 2 hours, I'll just go through only the important star mark problems, and then I am ready for the interview. So also prepare some like vanilla notes, not just go for like lead code kind of questions. Also prepare like say when I'm going to an interview, and if you know, let's say DFS and BFS algorithm, you are good to apply the same on a tree and on a graph. Okay, very likely you'll get one of these questions in these interviews. So I mean, when you are going for the interview, before that, try your hands on with just implementing like basic flavor of these algorithms, and then I think that will help. So I prepare a separate doc for that also. These algorithms run in this way. So I mean, that's my strategy which worked for me. Maybe people can have different, but I mean, taking notes will definitely help I mean everyone. And now just talking about the third category, those who are somehow looking for the job. First thing, whatever they are getting, I mean, it's a really difficult market to be choosy at first. So I'll suggest like first make yourself comfortable with working environment, and then maybe you can start preparing from there, and then you can maybe go along with the path you always like plan to.
Wonderful insights. Yeah, wonderful insights. I get the gist of how structured and organized your entire strategy has been. Starting from how to revise quickly, how to get into the momentum right before the interview. So these are very valuable. I'm sure that everybody is going to gain a lot
I'm telling you, after failing for 2 years, okay, so even trying so many things.
But that's not exactly failure. I mean, I think every small rejection has led you here and has made you how you think and who you are. So amazing journey. Something to glorify, definitely. And another thing that I would like to know from you, because earlier also you were in a product-based company, and you, although a different role, yet you must have gone through the entire interview process and the interview process that now you went through. I would like to get a fair understanding of the nuances between the rounds and how the entire process was different for you. So, yeah.
Yeah, so when I was interviewed for the like first company, at that time I was in college. I'll say I got interviewed just 2 rounds there, and then I was recruited. So those rounds were majorly on core CS fundamentals and like fundamental level of DSA. Won't say ki it was a very difficult round, although their written round was kind of good. But again, I mean, interviews were good enough. I mean, it was not very difficult from my understanding. And then when I appeared in the recent DSA rounds, things have completely changed. I mean, for this, I was like, I got 4 rounds. Okay. So the DSA questions were like, even if you think it's very easy, the optimization was way too difficult, which I mean, if you don't have any idea around that, I was asked a mathematics based question, and the optimization was somewhere using binary tree. So no one can relate ki mathematics question can be solved using binary tree, because that question was framed in a way it looks easier, but when you go on to solve this, the runtime will be very high. Time complexity will this
Right.
was a classic problem where even if you are like very comfortable with time complexity and all, and the time complexity was actually dependent upon the input. So this was the like I mean to say this was the level of question. This was purely based on how you optimize the solution. Okay, so the optimization was the key here, and I got interviewed for system design round also here, although it was more on like high level design, and they touched upon low level design concept. Then again, technical rounds were there when I was asked about my work in my previous organization, and then whatever was mentioned in my resume, I was asked about all those things. So yeah, a couple of good questions in DSA, and then system design, and then this technical round, and then hiring manager and HR round was like kind of
Yeah, just the perfect recipe.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, thanks a lot for all your time,
Mhm.
and wish you all the luck, all the best wishes, and heartiest congratulations from the entire programming Pathshala team.